We're live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We're on Love 99.5 FM. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including ATL and Castle FM in Cape Coast. We're also on Jubilee and Sun City Radio in Keta. We're on Twitter Spaces. We're on Facebook, myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplast Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC pipes and water tank. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. This afternoon, Chief Justice nominee Getro Tokono dismisses claims the Supreme Court of Ghana sometimes deliberately delivers partisan decisions to favor the president, who appoints the judges as she appears before Parliament's Appointments Committee for vetting.
Hardly has anything to do with appointing authorities. On a daily basis, we are adjudicating tens and hundreds of cases involving the quote-unquote ordinary Joe.
She has also been defending the powers of the court to use contempt to protect its image.
Whenever the court acts, whether it's the High Court, the Court of Appeal, or the Supreme Court, acts using the tool of contempt is to ensure that the justice sector is not scandalized beyond boundaries.
But her approval by the committee may come down to a vote, as the minority warns it will not be able to conclude the process unless it has a copy of the recent Supreme Court decision on James Chachikwesing.
We are of the view that we should be given opportunity to get a copy of the ruling so that we can be able to ask her questions based on her ruling.
The nominee has a response.
And my answer is that I have given hundreds of judgments from High Court till now. And I think that it would have been a really great relief to know that I am assessed on my work as a whole.
I'll take you live to Parliament shortly, but happening elsewhere today, police cells getting filled up as strike by judicial service staff enters day 2. Prosecutors are unable to present suspects to the court. Also, former Energy Minister Boakye Ejiako picks nomination forms to contest NPP presidential elections as the party begins to welcome presidential hopefuls. Also happening, despite fears of tougher economic times in Ghana, the International Monetary Fund is assuring that its $3 billion support program has conditions that government must implement to minimize the impact.
This will be done while protecting the vulnerable, protecting the poor, because ensuring social protection is one of the key aspects of the program. In the 2023 budget, the benefits under the LEAP are being doubled.
Well, that's more is what's happening today. But of course, the biggest for us today is the vetting of the Supreme Court nominee, Justice Getro Tokono, which is currently Chief Justice nominee Getro Tokono, which is currently underway in Parliament. She's appearing before the Appointments Committee. As a result, we are unable to bring you living word after the midday news. So please stay with us. We are going to Parliament now.
To whose work affects us. So when it comes to property registration, I recall that a few years ago, we requested that through local government, we should have access to the property rate registries, so that could help us verify home ownership during execution processes. So those are some of the initiatives. But I must say that it's in the trial court